Welcome to Over 30s Gaming. Come and have fun in the gaming verse with O3G.
Your adventure, courtesy of Kruger Intergalactic. Systems active.
Welcome back, Over 30s gamers. As you guys can see, we have the Kruger L-21 Wolf. Alright, so this video was actually meant to be a first inkling, I guess, of a first impression. That's what I was wanting to say. A first impression of the Wolf. However, it seems I've lost it, so I will go over what I actually first thought of, which, my thoughts have drastically changed. Link below. Watch that video. Big changes happened. Alright, so first impressions, I climbed up in the Kruger. I could take or leave it. The interior. The clock, which they supposedly very highlighted. I guess that's the current in-game time. I don't know. What other reason do you have a fucking clock? Because that's not the current time where I'm currently at. I don't know if that's the current time of the current server. But, what kind of standing we need to know. Give us some kind of information. The standing of the clock. The other thing is, let's see here. The one thing I do love is getting in and out of the ship. So, getting in and out of the ship where it actually folds those foot pads, as you can see, are freaking epic. I love the animation getting into the ship where it actually makes the feet pads to get in and out. And then the other thing that was first was the windshield would get very scratched up after like 2 flights, and then you couldn't freaking see, and you had to fly with your canopy open. They did end up fixing that. Thank God. Excuse me, Lord. But anyways, that was a savior within itself. So the look of the ship, the yellow, I could take or leave the yellow. I think it would have been a whole lot better if it was full chrome. I do like the pinstriping. Like, they could have left the pinstriping, and that would have been perfectly fine for me. Was just having the pinstriping all the way back, but it didn't need to go into this yellow. I could have left that. I think I would probably end up getting the red paint for it. I think that probably looked better. However, the piping that they did on these external engines is just sleek. I mean, they actually look like they're meant. The full intake, the cooling mechanisms, and everything else actually has really good flow dynamics to it. I'm loving it. The 8 missile pods, you got 4 right here and 4 on the other side, which actually matches what the ship holds. Love the attention to detail that they did on this. And also the lower intake there for the rear engine is fantastic. I love the discoloration of the titanium rear end here. That is really nice. You can tell that it's been ultra heated. So that is a very nice, and of course with these titanium ends here, you can tell some flame has been put through there, and it looks really nice. The overall reflectability of the ship, I do like. I do like the overall reflectability, and then the kind of copperization of the top of the engine, I think is really good, where you could actually almost look and be like, all right, the engine is set inside of this fuselage, like this spine here and that spine. It looks like you could lift the engine out of the ship, which I think is a very cool look. The cargo container here, it does open now. It didn't open when we first got in there. Now, here's the try to test. See, so that's still broke. So once you open it, you can't close it. So that is still broke. But before it didn't even open. So I mean, I guess we're, and I guess you can't get in it either. So I guess access it only once. Uh, you know, of course, this was a brand new ship, so it's gonna have issues. Um, the landing gear, I don't mind the, what is this, 25 inclination of the ship, the 25 degrees. However, I think if they had, I know they were kind of going for a boat look while it was sitting. I think if they had made the rear landing gear come up maybe just another 4 to 6 inches and kind of even out the spine, I think that would have looked a whole lot fresher. Because in reality, I mean, just look right now. So you could have a person down here and the pilot would never freaking know. And I mean, that's in a lot of cases in a lot of jets. But I mean, it just creates a inactive realitability of takeoff. Even though that this is VTOL, all ships are basically VTOL takeoff. So the next thing is, you see how this says no footing and the other side says no footing. However, when you do this side and it opens up and it flips these, I think the nicest, best part of the Wolf is the size 4 ballistic cannons. Those things rip. On a small ship, size 4 ballistics, I think they're 4,200 each. Yeah, 4,200. That's just sickening. I mean, drop dead ship. Now, before, when this came out, the ship was garbage. I mean, just straight garbage, because the ballistics couldn't go through shields. No one was taking any damage because ballistics were just garbage. However, watch the episode below. I also go through that. Now, the flipping of the weapons. That is another aspect I love. The flipping of the weapons, coming in and out like that. I think that is really cool how the hideaway. I do remember saying that this does not look like a fighter. This really doesn't look like a fighting ship. I would expect this to be more of a racing ship when I first saw it. That's what I actually expected. Now, we will go ahead. That was pure sexiness, I might add. I love the sound of this thing starting up. And the movement of it. Oh, man. You know, it almost sounds like a TIE fighter to me. Now, the one thing that I could also take and leave is that bottom fin. I know they kind of did it for aesthetic purposes, but I guess if you're in atmosphere and you're using it to be like a stabilizer, I guess. I don't really know. I mean, I could take or leave it. It's not really mine. They say they're going to have a thing where you can engage it and disengage it if you don't like it. But, you know, it is what it is. I just think, you know how deep your ship is when you're flying, and having that there really limits how close you can be on the ground. Should you be flying like that close? Probably not. Normally, I would say this would be probably average height of how close you're going to be to the ground, because by this point, you're already worried about, you know, jacking up and maybe hitting one tree. So, yeah, the fin, I could take it or leave it. The lights on the ship, I like the minimalistic lights. So you're not really lit up there. If you're supposed to be a fighter, you shouldn't be seen very easily. So I do like that fact. Now, the chromeness of the ship, I think, can work for its end, because then you're kind of reflecting your background, which I think is really nice. And the overall sleekness of it as a fighter was really good. But my overall first impression was not very positive. And it was all because I took it out, did ballistics, and the ballistics were just garbage. I mean, literally garbage. So we will go ahead so you can hear it. Going to open up the hangar. Look at that. Oh, the wash on this thing is just beautiful. Alright, full boost. I do remember last time full boost, yep, got me up to 10. I do like the fact that full boost gets you up to 10 kilometers. So you can basically be on a planet and ready to jump within a 10-kilometer boost, which is really nice. You can get in and out of dodge. It is a very nice and nimble ship, as you can see as well. It responds just perfectly to input. This is what I expect out of small fighters, is a jet-like style feel. It's not like the bigger ships that have a lot of, you know, you're holding it back and it's turning like this, you know, very slowly. This ship, you can literally 180 it while you're in the air and then reboost, and you're still going in the same direction. And then it's easy, as you can see, I'm decoupled now, and you can flatten her out, give her a short boost forward, and your trajectory has already changed. So the movement you can do with this, it actually feels like a fighter. Look at this. Look how it's traversing with my trajectory, with just solid pull, no boost, going around, just full throttle in. I love the fact that it is a highly removable ship, and that if you have enough boost, you can do a flip 180 burn and already be going the other direction when you're at full throttle. It's fantastic. So the fighting aspect of this ship, I think, will be spot on. And of course, watch the other video I had put in. It really goes into it. I think you'll like it. It's a 1-month review. And I guess this is kind of a little bit like it as well. But I was trying to give you first impressions. But I really did not like this ship. My first impressions of this were not good until they did the ballistics update. Because basically it was just a trash of a ship, because there was nothing that you could do with it. I mean, the ballistics were nothing. You couldn't fight up against anything. But I've been using this ship quite a bit now, and actually it's basically become my favorite fighter. So that is my, I guess, second impression of the Wolf. I hope you enjoy this short little video of about 14 minutes. If you guys like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe. Join the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subs. I really want to be able to throw away that free game and free ship to someone. I think that'd be awesome. Ooh, too hard. So yeah. Don't forget, keep gaming, gamers, and have fun.